Oh yeah. The thought has crossed my mind several times, especially the period before getting a job here. It was really difficult to imagine a life here. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Couple of Expats. My name is Megha, and today's video is very special to me because we are sharing the story of how I got my first job in Finland. We are back here at my alma mater, the University of Turku, where I first stepped into this building 5 years ago, and we're starting from the top. We're starting before YouTube. We're starting before I met Chris, before I got my first job. We're starting at when an Indian girl got off of an airplane and landed in Finland. Life as an international student can get pretty hectic. You're studying, you're trying to find a job, you're trying to socialize and make new friends, and all of this in a totally new environment where you have no idea about the language, the culture, or how the country works. It's also very common for international students to face emotional challenges. They miss their family and friends from back home, and there's financial pressure to support themselves. Students are often looking for work already in the first few months that they arrive, but they often don't take the effort or know how to tailor their applications and CVs to the Finnish standard, which is a very big mistake because first impressions last long. Now, there are two types of jobs available for international students in Finland. The first is short-term jobs such as cleaning, working in a restaurant, or food delivery jobs, which are to make ends meet. The second kind of job is jobs related to one's own field of study. So it's very common for students to have both kinds of jobs, initially starting out in the cleaning industry and meanwhile looking for a job in their own field of study. In this video, we will focus on the journey towards finding a job related to one's own degree. As an international student, in my first few months in Finland, I remember having to hear a harsh reality. Students very rarely find jobs outside the cleaning and service industry. I remember being in a meeting together with other scholarship holders and the university admission services, and they gave us the truth as it was, that students have a difficult time finding jobs in Finland. And this was pretty disheartening to hear for an Indian student who had already envisioned working in the corporate sector back home in India. However, I didn't let that stop me. I continued to express my interest in finding a job in my own industry, which at that time was the life science industry. This meant that I was talking to anyone that would listen. That includes faculty, university professors, and my Finnish friends about how passionate and interested I was in finding a job. During my first year as a student at university, I received an internship subsidy from the university to gain work experience at a company. Now, this obviously encouraged me to send open applications to companies in the region. Most companies I never heard back from. One company in particular, who I had approached through a mutual acquaintance, never responded to me immediately, but got back to me 2 months later asking me if I was interested in interviewing for a thesis position. Eager to gain any kind of experience in Finland, including interview experience, of course I said yes to the interview. After 2 rounds of interviews, I learned that the company was willing to offer me a summer trainee position, followed by a thesis at the company. As it turns out, I worked at the company Arctia International for 2.5 years also after graduating and got a permanent position at the company. Looking back, there was no way I could have known that one interview for a thesis position would have led to what was basically the start of my career. But being open to learning opportunities certainly helped the process. Your university can be a powerful ally to have during your job search. Reach out to your university's career services as well as the faculty in your department to ask about gaining work experience. Universities also offer internships and different summer positions in their faculties or research groups. Earlier, I also talked about the internship subsidy offered by university. So universities support companies that are willing to hire international students. This encourages students to apply to companies in the area, and it also offers financial incentives for companies to invest in student talent. I also really appreciate the great collaboration between companies and universities, and I think this really makes the job placements easier in Finland, for example, with the help of Unicum project. So we will leave all the important links in the description box below. I'll share some key advice to help you not make the same mistakes that I made and a lot of people make. The first one is to avoid asking help from people who you've just met. So the truth is that people do not share tips and contacts with people that they don't know and trust. So invest a little time in getting to know people and for them to get to know you first. Secondly, I waited until my 3rd year to start learning the language. In retrospect, starting sooner would have been the wiser choice because learning the local language opens doors and makes you stand out among other candidates. Finally, stay optimistic in your job search. Things may take longer than you would expect them to. The job market here is different than what you might be used to, but have faith that things will work out. This year marks my 3rd year as an alumni of the University of Turku, as I graduated in the middle of the pandemic. Between Kristaps and myself, we have gone from studying to working full-time, and Chris is even pursuing his 2nd master's degree. We both currently work as specialists and have had multiple employers in Finland by now. And we both believe that finding the first real job in Finland is the most difficult part, so hang in there. And there you have it, the story of how I landed my first real job in Finland. We hope this video gave you some confidence that if I can do it, so can you. But everyone's journey to how their career takes off is different, and we want to hear about yours. So let us know in the comments, how did you find your first job and what tips would you share with others? If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to give a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more expat adventures, and see you next time.